Now, if you're a regular on long-haul flights, you could be in for more turbulence because it's claimed the changes in the climate could make your journey more bumpy. It's all to do with changes in jet streams, powerful currents of air which can be found at the same heights which planes fly. Professor Paul Williams from Reading University has been looking into it and told me more.
The jet stream is a very fast current of air that can blow up to 200 or 250 miles an hour on a good day, high above our heads, 10 to 12 kilometres up sometimes. And it steers weather systems. So it blasts weather systems across the Atlantic to our shores in the UK. So we don't like it for that reason, but it also affects our flights. There's a lot of turbulence in jet streams. So there's good reasons for caring about what the jet stream is doing, both at ground level and all the way up at 35,000 feet as well.
So you've been looking at how they've been changing. Well, what have you found?
Yes, we've gone back and looked since the start of satellite observations of the jet stream in 1979 up to the present day, and we've looked at how the jet stream is changing over the North Atlantic. And what we found is that we've changed the climate so much that the jet stream there is now, well, it's got 15% more wind shear in it than it did 40 years ago. And what that means is a lot more turbulence for air travellers.
Yeah, and I suppose if you're a transatlantic air passenger, you might have to put up with it with a bit more of a bumpy ride in future. Is there anything else that might cause concern with these changes?
Well, there are possible impacts on our weather, but those haven't been explored yet. But certainly we know that the jet stream affects our weather systems, and so changes that are taking place to the jet stream high up there at 12 kilometres could potentially be having consequences for us down here as well. That remains to be explored.
And is there anything which tells us why this is all happening?
Yes, it's all because of climate change. The climate and the temperatures are changing up there at 35,000 feet as well. And in particular, the north to south temperature difference across the North Atlantic Ocean is getting stronger because of climate change. Now, the winds and the temperatures are in a very precise kind of balance in the atmosphere. And what that means is that you can't change the temperatures without also changing the winds. And of course, the CO2 we're putting into the atmosphere is changing the temperatures, and the knock-on consequences that the winds are changing as well.
And are these kind of changes something that's here to stay?
All the signs are that they are here to stay. There's been an upward trend since the late 1970s when I was born. It's kind of shocking to think that over my lifetime there's been this massive change in the jet stream. And also, it's noteworthy that we've only just noticed it despite 40 years of satellite observations, and it makes you wonder what else is going on in the climate system that we're not quite aware of yet. We don't have all the answers, and there's still a lot more research to do.
And if this kind of thing is here to stay, could it get even more severe, given you were saying that it has slowly ramped up over the last 30 years or so? Well,
we've published studies showing that there's going to be a lot more turbulence in future, 2 or 3 times as much turbulence, severe turbulence. So yes, these jet stream effects, if the trend continues, and we have every reason to expect it to, unless we take some sort of action to cut our emissions, then I think we're all going to be experiencing a bumpier ride when we take to the skies in a few decades' time.
Professor Paul Williams there from Reading University on the changing jet stream, and his research has been published in the journal Nature.